because originally I wasn't actually gonna like join them. I was just gonna help them out when they went on stage and stuff. And when I first heard it, I was like, it sounds like beat poetry without the beat.
Come together on a similar idea with like the verses. We write them in our phones, because like wherever you go, you can just like got an idea.
That. Like I stopped by, like, I guess your guys' band practice a while ago, and like the phones. What are they doing? Are they like texting the ladies, or
like
so
while rapping?
You guys will, instead of having a pen and paper, you'll be like T9ing it. The mention of the cell phone and kind of playing like a crucial part in your songwriting. Like how are you finding that with all this new kind of technology that we have? Like how that's like, is that playing a part for you guys? And do you think having resources like the internet and stuff, is that making it easier for you as a band?
I wouldn't say it's like doing anything for us yet, really, other than of course that he has like a endless notepad on him. But like it will, and it does for others. Things like the internet, I really like the idea of being able to just like you couldn't just like write a song, say someone could videotape it and then the whole world could see it if you wanted. But now it's like YouTube, you could just throw it out there, and one person could look at it, or 5 million people can look at it. You never know.
Like a local level, like is it worthwhile doing this? Like, does Edmonton have something going on, or?
Well, it depends. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, that's it. Go.
Well, it depends what you want to get out of it. I mean, like, I could play shows and enjoy what I'm doing and never get anything out of it, financially, and I'd be content. But if the band's here, if that's what they want, like, they're good bands, but there's always a different level, and with other levels comes commitment. You almost have to take away from what you want to do, just because there's money involved, and producers always have the ultimate say. So I mean, yeah, so exactly. So
money, yeah, they're investing it. So.
On a local level, there's great bands everywhere, and especially in Edmonton. You don't even have to look that hard. I thought you used to, but I mean, you walk down White Ave and the pawn shop will be playing a show, and you walk up there and you'll hear like 6 bands in one night that you're like, this is blowing my mind.
Yeah, we're definitely not known as an art community.
Well, we are. We try.
We try.
we give it a good hustle. And, maybe one day we'll be there, and if we keep, I don't see any harm in, giving it a go anyway. See what we can do with it.
So, like, essentially what you're saying is that, like, the Edmonton scene right now is pretty vibrant, but
I don't know. It's almost like there's a wall.
Are we hitting a wall? Or?
Yeah, it's like you can get so far, and you do really well, and you can be really well known locally, but you're still going to need a job at the Gap. Because you just, unless you leave Edmonton, you're kind of stuck. Like, not like we're there or anything, but, with a lot of local
But, like,
bands,
how do we get past that? Because I really like this city, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where it's like, all right, I want to kind of work in the creative industry, but can I do that here? And you keep slugging away, but you kind of get to that point where you're like, I gotta leave Compton. So what is it? Because to me, what you guys are doing, it's very raw and it's torn down. And like, I know kind of where hip hop started, like, people like kind of like toasting or rapping over like the instrumental of stuff, and that to me is more like where you guys are than compared to drive-by shootings.
Yeah, like hip hop originally started. DJs would play the breaks and beats, and they would. That's where they get the beats, and then MCs would start rapping over it, doing little parts over it. They would have these block parties, and they became very popular in their time, and that's how hip hop kind of grew. And I think graffiti and the other elements kind of grew on top of that. They were always kind of around, but because they're associated with the kind of the culture, they're just kind of accepted in. And that's kind of how hip hop came to be. And you can go so deep into hip hop. There's so much about it, and that's just kind of the brief, just so you know that hip hop isn't just the rapping. In fact, it's actually MCing and all those other elements all combined, and that's what hip hop is. And I don't know if we fit right in there, but I think there's a little bit of soul too that kind of comes into play, and if you have that, if you feel it, and you have the movement there.
Part of it is like planting the seed in people's brains. It's like, if you can get that idea in their head, that's sometimes only half. Like that's like half the battle right there. Just like making someone think about what you said, whether it be children with guns. And it's like, oh wow, it's maybe that is a problem.
So it almost kind of creates awareness in yourself when you sit down and do something like that,
Well, and I would imagine that you would really have to think about that subject matter to, like, while you kind of get in the zone and you start putting your,
We're all,
thumbs to your keyboard. But
we're all like really numb to the idea of these things anyway. Like, you're watching, you're flipping through the channels and there's an African baby crying with a fly on his face, and you keep flipping because it just doesn't really click. But I think if you actually gonna stop and if you actually take the time to sit down and write like an entire song about like a subject, I'm sorry, but if you come out of it still numb to it, you probably didn't write a very good song.
I think you have to start somewhere. Like, honestly, and for the last week, I've been wanting to just go down to the Hope Mission and just like go there and just see what I can do, because I don't even know where to start, And it's just that step, and it's not hard at all. And honestly, I think that's something so small like that can change everything, like your path, and then you can evolve and slowly evolve into these other things, down to like the investment of the fans, like how much they want to put into going to the shows, because we went to that show and they're kind of considering Edmonton as just like a warm-up to Calgary, because Calgary is gonna be where they have all their fans and stuff. Mind you, they are from Calgary, but at the same time, like, to hear that is just like, oh, so Edmonton's just like whatever, like they don't get anybody out to their shows, so they just practice here.
Like Wonder Bar and like the Artery and these people, and so what's happening? What's the disconnect? Like, the music's there, like you have the talent, you have the places where they can see them, but
I don't know. I don't get it, because it's like you're gonna pay, like I would say maybe everyone's a student and they're poor, but you're still paying cover to get into the club, and it's usually about the same price as a ticket to a concert. You're going to see a show or you're going to see live music, but I don't think that people appreciate it quite as much as we would like them to. I don't think
appreciate live music?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people can appreciate live music anymore for some reason.
Karaoke killed live music. We need more shitty bands to that's what used to happen, in the 70s and the 80s. Like, the only entertainment you had was these live groups, right? You go to these shows and there would be like 6 crappy bands, and then this band would finish and they'd blow your mind. Like, this band is the greatest band ever. And it was like, and that band, possibly maybe got big. They want to go to clubs. They want to go sing
DJs,
karaoke.
Like DJs too, really. It's like, maybe we're living in the past a bit, We need to move forward and just let all that old music behind, even though that's hard, I always listen. Like, I'm one of those guys that I'm like, only old school shit, and I can't grasp the new stuff, and I'm only like 20 years old.
Turn down that rocket.
So we have 2 options. We can keep playing live music and bang our head against this wall of, oh, this is how big we can get in Edmonton, or convert to electronic dance mix. Is that what you're telling me, Ryan?
Yes.
That's shit, man. That's shit. There has to be a third one.